Hi, and this is Aaron. Thank you for listening. I can't.
Hey, you guys, and welcome to the Hunt for the Paranormal Podcast. I am not your host. Aaron is actually your host.
I'm new, trying this for the first time ever.
That's
so
all
I
good.
know the paranormal, but I haven't done this before, so stay with us.
Yeah. So that's Aaron.
Hi, I'm Mike, and then our special guest.
Yeah, MTR. Hey guys, this is my first time on the podcast.
And my boss at the same
Yeah,
time.
I hate when
He says
people say
that, but then at other times he's like, "Well, you gotta listen to
I'll
your
play the
boss."
card when it's convenient. I swear to God, I will play the card when it's 110% convenient.
So I guess I have to be on my best behavior.
No. You gotta
Yeah,
you gotta
right.
listen to Drake and listen to the song "Worst Behavior."
Oh gosh.
yeah.
I should
Oh man,
smack you for that.
I can't play the voice message
Why?
because my phone doesn't have.
Oh great, your fucking cheap ass iPhone.
Actually, I'll play it directly in.
Alright,
Okay,
cool, that
that's
should
cool. All right.
So first and foremost, congratulations to the Hunt for the Paranormal Podcast. It's the first time somebody ever called into Rat House, other than Carl.
That's right.
Fucking Carl. You know, I want Carl to call for us.
Okay, so if you guys don't know, I host Comics After Dark, and this mysterious caller called in and just said, "My name's Carl, and MTR, you definitely said sandwich," and like that was it. And to this day, we know it's a prank, but we can't figure out who.
I
called.
swear it's still fucking Tim, aka. Yeah,
I think it's you.
How?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll even do my damn southern drawl. It doesn't sound like, hey, my name's Carl.
But yeah, let's go ahead. Do you guys want to get into that first?
Well, let's
the voice
see.
message?
First, we'll be talking about this call about. She had a question about the shadow people.
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
also discussed last week's podcast, and then after that, we'll be discussing some theories and pretty much the mythology behind the deer woman in the new American Horror Story 6 that Lady Gaga played. So yeah, we'll start off with a call. And we'll move on from there. We'll have some-
Mama, Gaga, oh la la.
Mm-hmm.
Watch your bad romance. No, all right, we're not doing this. Okay, let's go ahead.
I'm cueing the music at that point.
Now everybody's like, no, they're just a joke. They're not hunting for the paranormal. They're just like hunting to make me laugh. That's what's going on. So
Right,
let's go
pretty
ahead.
much.
Let's get into it right now. Here's the voice message that we received from Rat House.
My name is Savannah Parker. I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I have to talk about what you posted on Instagram about shadow people. Ever since I was a little girl, I've seen them, and recently I've seen them once again, and I'm just really curious to know if there are other people that have seen them, or if this is just a hoax. Please contact me back. My Instagram is Fatal Tremors. Thank you. Bye.
So that was Savannah from Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina.
South Carolina. Now, I will say this first, right off the bat. If you know you saw them as a kid and you're seeing them currently now as an adult, like, this obviously isn't an illusion, nor is it a hoax.
No.
So, like, understand that first and foremost right off the bat. Like, you've experienced this before. I'm sure you're doubting yourself just because it's not a common thing to happen amongst not only people, but it's not even a thing you could really turn to like an average person and be like, have you seen shadow people? Because you're either one, gonna get called crazy, two, get thrown into an institution, or, you know, three, like, just made fun of constantly and shunned upon and pushed away. So that's what I will say first and foremost. With personally, for me, I have never experienced shadow people to my knowledge. There may have been incidents where they were shadow people and I mistaken them for something else. But as for the definition of shadow people and what has happened to people, some people say during sleep paralysis that they experience shadow people and stuff like that. I wouldn't know because that never really happened to me. All the entities that I ever saw, it wasn't I woke up and I stared in fear and I couldn't move. It was I could see this thing.
Yeah. Well, I have experience with shadow people, and this is not, and also not all shadow people are necessarily a figure or pretty much a silhouette of a person.
Like clouds.
Yeah, like a dark mist, pretty much. And those are also considered shadow people at the same time. Yeah. So on the whole aspect of being a hoax,
I think there's too many cases.
There is so many cases about shadow people, and then the thing is that there's not enough information. There's only like about shadow people itself.
No, I just got mad because I don't. For the people watching YouTube, I was gonna play us some creepy music in the back. In fact, can you unplug the iPad and pass it over here? I'll just do it through that.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can put creepy music later.
Yeah, I know, but I kind of like it, real time. I always love real time stuff. That's just the way I am.
Well, but back on that, it can't be a hoax. There's so much like occurrences that happen.
Well, think about like the crop circles or Bigfoot. There's only
Blurry
so
motherfucker.
many, and it's always bad evidence.
Not necessarily bad evidence. Because before I even came here too, because I was watching it.
You're watching Bigfoot?
No, fuck you.
Did you quote Deuce Bigelow? Holy shit, it's Bigfoot!
No, but I was watching a video about a little bit more, see if we can get more intel about shadow people and whatnot. And a lot of what I've seen,
That was me. My apologies.
like videos, pictures, like some were like kind of grainy or they're using.
And those can always be fake.
Yeah, but
that's
I seen other ones like security camera footage, and it was like broad daylight. It was like in a restaurant, and you see a guy just walks in like a normal Joe. Mm-hmm. So there's two doors, so a door here and another door here. You see one guy just walk in, and the other door is just closed. And all of a sudden, you see an apparition of pretty much a shadow person just take form, just chilling, just right there. And I was like, the fuck?
Yeah, like I said, with me with shadow people, like I've never had that experience, so it's so hard for me to say and have experience on stuff like with that at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, could this be happening to people? Sure, it wouldn't surprise me at all. But as for has it happened to me? No, I've had actual entities and stuff like that. So, like I said, this is far beyond my expertise, which is why I'm a special guest this year.
No, but
Matt's considered a sensitive as well. He lives over here by the cemetery. He's got his own little things going on.
Yeah.
So he does tend to notice these things.
If I want to or not.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even listen to the last podcast because it freaks him out a little.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I actually I had to turn you guys off.
Really, what part?
Just everything in general.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like the more I think Aaron said it perfectly. Like, the more you listen to stuff like this, the more it hyphens stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
Flexing a muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of avoided stopped listening to it. I listen to it in the car where I feel like I'm safe because I don't think a ghost could be like, I'm gonna do it, jump in his car, and like go with me. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that.
But with
It's
that
belief that keeps you protected.
Yeah.
Whereas
so,
you think your door here is a gateway.
Well, it was like,
look,
but also back on the shadow people aspect, no one knows. Like I said, there's not enough information on them. But the thing is that not every shadow person is either evil or good. So it's like either way, you have to be wary about a shadow person because you're like, is this a good one?
Well,
Or
there's actually
fucked up motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well,
and,
I've heard.
I got a website right here too.
Oh,
after,
sweet.
or if you want to talk about it.
Now I'm actually gonna pull up I'm pulling up the Wikipedia to read what, exactly, at least to their.
Well, this one's
definition.
from angelsghost.com/shadow people. Who are the shadow people? Shadow people are dark human shapes, typically seen moving at night, and most common form of ghosts that people witness.
Yeah.
People often flee in the presence of people in physical bodies, especially if they realize that they've been detected. And they're also viewing in the corner of your eye, in the peripheral. So it goes on to say, like, shadow ghosts aren't not devils, demons, or aliens. And that's another theory, is a lot of people think that they're being abducted at these times.
Yeah.
But simply, they're just want to be seen in the lowest form of what it takes more energy to move something, I would imagine, for a ghost than to manifest a shadow.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, we were joking. Aaron and I were and Tiffany yesterday.
Yeah.
When we hung out, they were making fun of me and being like, "Matt, if you were to haunt us, like, you would leave like really bad comics or like do something like that. I'm like, that would take too much of my energy to even attempt to do that to you guys. Like, I wouldn't waste it. I'd probably come into your guys' dreams because it might be a little easier. As for Wikipedia, it says that shadow people, also known as shadow figures, shadow beings, or black mass, is a patch of a shadow as a living humanoid figure, particularly as interpreted by believers in the paranormal or supernatural, as presence of a spirit of another entity. This is a big word, so bear with me. It actually, okay, I could pull this all down because it's basically saying many meth addicts report hallucinations of shadow people as a result of sleep deprivation.
Well, safe to say I've never done meth, and I've seen that.
What happened?
Well, safe to say that I've never done meth, and I've seen them. So,
likewise,
I've done meth. I'm not joking.
I'm not. I know.
Yeah, I've done method, but at no point did I see shadow people from. But I mean, like, my addiction wasn't nearly as bad as these other people that had probably stayed up for like 7 days, 8 days. Like,
I've seen people
at most was like an extra day, and as most people know me, I like without 8 hours of sleep, like I'm dust. So you can imagine, like, the next day I was like, yeah, dude, I probably shouldn't be doing this because, like, I like sleep. I need it.
Because this motherfucker will give me shit. It's like, dude, I need my 8 hours sleep. I'm like, dude, I only get like 4 to 5 hours average. Just average.
Freaking crazy, man.
Hey, the military life, dude.
It's true. Yeah, so you're kind of, like, used to it by now.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
With shadow people, I've actually heard there was a particular podcast that I listened to. Highly suggest it. Even though they'll probably like outrank us completely.
Oh yeah.
It is called Real Ghost Stories Online.
I love that show. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
So they're awesome. Go ahead and if you guys want just ghost stories, you could check them out.
Especially more calls like the one you just heard. It's all based off people calling in and telling their stories.
Great. Or emails and stuff. So they're huge. And that's the great thing is that, you know, and they even say sometimes, like, they'll debunk calls. They'll be like, this guy's over-exaggerating.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, back to my story. I guess there was a particular area that they had that knew was haunted, and they actually turned it into, like, almost like an attraction type of thing. So you could go to this specific area, and you pay, like, 10, 20, 30 bucks, and you walk down a corridor, and there's shadow people that, like, shoot. Like dart through all of them, and I guess this particular person went through, and at the end, like everybody, you know, usually everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can see him! I can't see him!" And it just out of nowhere, everyone was just silent. And the guide was like, you should probably come back right now. Like, come back, just come back. Can you come back fastly? Come back." And she didn't understand what happened, and they didn't want to tell her anything until after the tour because they didn't want to freak her out, but. I guess it had never happened on the tours before, and someone was standing, like a shadow person was standing directly behind her and just hovering over her. And like I said, like the normal experience is that shadow people just dart like from one side of the hall to the other and going through the doors. But this particular one, like,
had some kind of attraction to her.
So
that's why I want to go. And like I mentioned, I'm down. But like I mentioned on the last episode, I have to be careful because I'm a fucking medium to like. That, so.
By the way, if you do have houses that are haunted and stuff, and you do want us to do an investigation and help you out, you could go ahead and you could hit us up at 714-684-1652. Or if you also have any ghost stories that you just want to share, or questions for the Hunt for the Paranormal crew, you go ahead and call 714-684-1652, which is great. Well, I mean, congratulations, you guys, for getting your first call.
I'm actually pretty stoked.
Yeah, it was great. And
like, I mean, fuck me. I've only been podcasting for 4 years. Lord knows you guys get 2 episodes and you get the first fucking call on Rat House. The real call, I should say. Carl, just appear, God! Please!
But that's the thing, you know, I think it's more personal with these kind of things because now half the show is
Look, comics is more personal from here. You know, no, I'm joking. But yeah, as for... like I said, I've never experienced shadow people. I've had weird experiences. Do you guys want me to go into that, or do we want to go?
Yeah. Since Aaron,
it was actually pretty funny because Mike did you read all the messages on Facebook by chance, or did you just read the tail end? So Mike's hitting me up, and I go, hey, we're talking about the deer woman, right? And he goes, yeah. I go, I don't know anything about the deer woman, but I know about the deer dance.
Once you guys said that, I was like, oh my God, it makes sense.
It is exactly the same shit.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear about anything, a song about the deer woman.
No, because that's about Indian people, Native Americans being killed.
That's what she does.
She leads them. She's either a sign of like warning of death.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, no, okay. Before, let's
we'll dive into that a little later after.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. And then like I go. So Mike, does she like to push the weak around? And he just started busting, because that's part of the lyrics, And
I had no idea. I knew the stories and everything, but
I always thought deer dance. I
great.
thought it as a different way. But until I listened to the lyrics recently, I actually thought it was talking about a pit. Yeah. Okay. And I guess
we'll go into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's jump on you, and then we'll go on.
You're gonna jump on me? Well, no. So, anyways, I love sharing this story around this time of year, and it's near and dear to my heart. And I can't say if it's good or bad, but nonetheless, it happened, and it's mine, and I take it in a positive way, and I love it. So I was at Disneyland, and there's a particular area of Disneyland when you're walking into Frontierland where it is basically like the two forts, and above it says Frontierland. So if you're walking into the actual land on your right hand side, there that particular fort is where this story happened. Mm-hmm. So in between that fort and the pin trading area was a guy that had like stuff he was selling, like the glow in the dark Christmas stuff. It was towards
the
nighttime.
Little vendors.
Yeah, the little vendor.
The chinga thingies.
Yeah, the chinga. That's So I went up to him, and I could hear inside of the fort, dun 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 dun
What?
dun 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 dun, and I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's not a normal like song.
Yeah, for Disney.
Yeah, and I've been in there.
Ominous
before.
pauses and like.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, like someone's having a really hard time trying to figure out White Christmas on the piano.
Yeah.
Like struggling. And I look at the guy and go, hey man, do they practice the piano in there? And he goes, oh no. No, I don't know what they do in there. It's like, I think that's Phantasmic Storage, but I could be wrong. I'm like, all right. I'm like, you're sure? And he goes, yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So I go up and I'm like, can you hear it though? And he listens and he's like, no, that's just the music from Frontierland. And I go, it can't be, because the music from Frontierland is like it's like I can't country, but like not kind of western, whatever you want to describe it as.
Yeah.
So I go, they're not gonna have piano in it. If it is, it's gonna be like the fiddle type of piano. Yeah, exactly. Or some sort of a like a Family Guy, like something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. But you get it.
Yeah.
You get it. So then he goes, it has to be from Main Street. And I'm like, it can't be, because like Main Street would be like, if it is White Christmas, like lively. I know specifically that song because I've worked there for like 2 or 3 Christmases. I know their version of it. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I adore it, I might add. Like White Christmas brings me to tears. I think it's the most beautiful Christmas song. While some people cry to It's a Wonderful Life, I cry to White Christmas because, it reminds me of like our soldiers that aren't able to be home, and like there's sometimes they're not allowed to celebrate Christmas depending on their sergeants, and they miss their families and all that.
So do you think that this could have, like, since that's your mindset?
I don't know yet. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
The thing, because like that's the way. Like, okay. Like,
was it trying to get my attention?
Like, think about how we speak. That's a form of telepathy. I'm saying something from my mind, transporting it into yours. Well, with these spirits, sometimes a lot of these mediums say that they feel it through emotion.
Yeah, that's true.
So what if, and since you're more in the audio sense, musical sense, it connected with a way to let you hear something that would connect you to that?
Maybe. I don't know. But that's being played, and then some other guy comes, and I think I don't know if he's there to relieve the guy or why he's even there. But I go, hey man, do you hear that piano? And he goes, no. I go up to the cabin and listen to it, to the fort. And he goes, yeah, I could hear it. Yeah, that's Frontierland music. I'm like, dude, it can't be Frontierland music. It's impossible. He's like, then it's Main Street music. I'm like, that's also impossible. Yeah. That makes no sense. Well, it can't be. That one's completely different music. This one's completely. It's dude. They practice. What is in there? You told. That's Phantasmic Storage. That's where they throw the pipes and the ropes and everything. I'm like, get the fuck. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
So him and the vendors start talking, and I go to walk away because I have to go and I have to sweep Frontier, the bridge of Frontier, and then I can walk back. And as I'm walking out there, I see. I clearly recognize the nighttime shift guy.
Yeah.
And I go, dude, tell me that inside there is fucking a piano practice room. And he goes, no. It's like, that's the storage for Phantasmic. They throw all the ropes in there. He's like, in fact, it's probably unlocked because they never lock it to begin with. And I'm like, open that door and show me the inside. And he goes, yeah, no worries. And he goes, and as the two are still talking, opens the door. I'm not over exaggerating, you guys. It's completely hollowed out. There's no real, like, 2 stories. It's hollowed out, and there's one single light at the very top that just shines down. There's nothing in there.
The fuck?
Absolutely nothing.
And you had your ear to the glass and
yeah, and you could hear it
like,
and everything. And the guy that, like, came to relieve the other guy, he just looks and goes, fuck that, and just walks away. And I was like...
What did he see then?
We didn't see anything. We could just hear it. There was just... There was nothing. There was nothing.
It's like when you hear someone in the other room, you go in, no one's in there.
Mm-hmm. So
that's pretty cool.
Well, and once again, like it didn't seem scary. I didn't feel anything negative. It wasn't how do you describe it? Not maleficent. What is it?
Oh, I know what you're talking.
It wasn't malevolent.
Yeah, malevolent. Yeah.
There you go. Sorry. I can't pronounce words that are bigger than me, so all that was gonna come out of my mouth was phenomena. Like so, yeah. So,
they had a big issue that on the Real Ghost Stories on time. Every time he tried to say malevolent, he was like malevolent.
Yeah. So every time I try to say malevolent from here on in, you're just gonna hear phenomena, and you know exactly what it is. But yeah, so to this day, it's my favorite ghost story at Disneyland, and I hold it near and dear to my heart because it did kind of feel like, and it was funny too because I was quitting. So that really felt like,
oh really?
Here you go, buddy. Like, here's your goodbye.
So pretty much what you, in a sense, experienced was a residual haunting.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. I don't know if they practiced. I don't know if they practiced beforehand in there, or what was going on. But I mean,
no, I don't even think it could be that. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean anything happened there.
Yeah, no. Like, what I mean, like what a residual haunting is it's
on replay.
It's on an echo.
Yeah, but I haven't. But that's the thing is that I own a Disney Pass and I've been there several times, several years, and yet to this day.
Well, like certain emotions, like you mentioned, like certain emotions and stuff like that will activate.
Well, they definitely have one there, and I've shared this.
Because I just recently shared this. A bunch of crazy ghost stories happening.
Yeah. I just recently shared this story with the Geek Speak show. So if you're a geek, go ahead and subscribe to the Geek Speak show. Basically, of course, this would happen. I actually failed I left a part out of the story, so this is perfect. So there used to be a barbecue place that right now it's currently shut down, and I think it's demolished due to Star Wars Land. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where this entity is going to go now. But
that sucks.
Yeah, so I don't know if like Star Wars Land is going to be haunted from here on in.
Probably.
But I went. This barbecue place, fucking delicious barbecue place. I loved it. It was my favorite place to eat. They had the greatest pazookie there. Mm-hmm. So after I eat, gotta unload, and I'm that dick that isn't handicapped, but I use the handicap. So I go, I'm unloading, and I see these feet come up, and a knock, and I'm like, what? And I assume it's my friend David, and he's like, hey man, what time does the park close? Like, I don't know what time the park closes. Like, why would you've been working here longer than me. Like, you tell me. And he's like, well, how much are tickets? And I go, why are you asking me this stupid shit while I'm in the middle of using the restroom?
Yeah.
Like, so I get mad and I start like wiping up and get the hell out of there. And my buddy David comes and he's like, hey dude, are you alright? You've been in here a long time. I go, why the fuck are you coming in here asking me stupid questions? Like, what time the park closes, how much tickets are? Like, I don't fucking know that shit. And he looks at me, he's like, I never asked you that, bro.
And it was his voice?
No.
Okay.
And that was the thing. That's why I figured it was him. It's one of those moments where like you're not paying it. When like you hear somebody behind you and they're like, hey, blah blah blah, and you're like, or you hear something and you're like, hey ma, did you call me?
Yeah.
And like they're like no, and you just assume.
Yeah.
So I can't really tell you the details beyond that. But he's like, I never told you anything. So months later, I'm sweeping the bridge that leads from Big Thunder Mountain to Big Thunder Ranch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, hey, don't go over there. Don't go over where? Just go to the bridge. And I go, why? We have to. It's our job. We got to clean it up. It's like, no, don't go over there. There's a ghost. And I'm like, what? It's like, there's not a ghost, dude. Let's go. Come on. It's like, no, I swear to God, there's a ghost, dude. Don't go over there. I'm like, there's not. Come on. We got to go. He's like, no, dude, we can't go because he either asks you what time the park closes or how much tickets are when you're sweeping and you turn around and there's no one there. And apparently there's been a report of it happening to security guards, it happening to...
No fucking
yeah,
way.
it happening to... Now, here's the thing. My buddy David works on the DCA side.
Okay.
So he doesn't...
I want to go to Disneyland for that now.
He doesn't know any of the stories or any of the employees on the Disneyland side. So that was weird. And on top of it, I guess it happens to women in the restroom while they're cleaning. So there would be, and this is the thing I left out from the Geek Speak show, was that when women would clean it and I'd go into that restroom to clean, they would be like, Matt, can you come in with me to the women's restroom and clean with me? I go, I can't. They're like, no, I need you to go in there with me. Like, I'm scared.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, no, seriously, I can't. Like, while the park is open, you can't close off the restrooms. It's just the way Disneyland is. Like, nothing's closed, essentially.
Yeah.
Unless it absolutely has to be. Yeah. So they would, like, close it off, and I would go in there. I'm like, dude, you got, like, 2 or 3 minutes. And I will, like, stand, like, in the obvious area and be like, hold on, it's closed real quick. Just wait for one moment. And they would clean as fast as possible and get the fuck out of there. But, yeah, they say that they would hear... there would be a man that would ask them questions, and they turn around and know.
I want to know what's the story on that spirit.
I've been looking for years. I can't find anything.
I'll see what I can find, because I know I've heard stuff about the Thunder Mountain Road, or Thunder Mountain.
This is the first time I've heard
area,
of it.
Around that bridge, it actually is reported to be haunted. And I've seen it on, like, there's a lot of stories around there, so I'll do some research and bring that on next week.
Yeah.
And
that's oh wow, that's creepy.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. As I looked at you, I'm like, what? Don't leave it there.
We're gonna go ahead. Nope.
No, but
Scaredy cat.
What? Scary
cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like, but for a theme park, like the only like residual haunting I experienced, it's Knott's Berry Farm.
Nothing has happened to me at Knott's. I've worked there for a long time too.
You remember the parachute ride?
Yes.
And it goes up and then
Yeah.
Well, apparently, the story is a kid, like a teenager boy, like 16 years old. His girlfriend broke up with him, and then I guess his buddies tried to...
I heard something else, but it's a similar story.
Yeah, and I guess...
I heard like a husband found out like the wife cheated or like...
Yeah, I heard that story too. But...
yeah, because it was just a chain on the parachute ride. That's all it was.
Yeah, and so homeboy jumped off and then...
killed himself.
Yeah, just killed himself. So... And so where you're in that vicinity of the ride, you can hear something go...
No, that's 110% not true. I don't know if you've heard it.
No, that's what I heard.
But
that's
me
what I've been
working
told.
there, I was actually shift lead of that area.
Okay. Well, that's the story I was told.
The only thing that I've ever, like, it felt like it could have been something, but it might have just been eerie, was I would have to work in Sky Cabin. And what the Sky Cabin, if, like, nobody came to the Sky Cabin, you'd just dispatch it anyways. And I had paperwork to do, so it was a perfect place to be. I dispatch it, and, like, there'd be times where, like, I felt like someone was there, but it's a giant empty cabin.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, could be nothing, could be something.
Yeah.
But no, I've never experienced it. And I was actually in charge of that area.
Oh, okay.
And I was in charge of shutting it down and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I was night shift there, so I could tell you from my experience of working there, never, not once, nothing. And no one ever reporting anything either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, it's just like, with the theme parks, I just imagine it's such like a high energy area that it would pull that stuff in. Like, let's say the piano playing, that was someone around Christmas who looks at that time as one of the most happiest times of his life with his family. Yeah. And now that they're gone, that's where they're hanging out because it reminds them of that time. Yeah. Maybe trying to play that piano, or maybe
just like this. He was trying to get this good as this music, but he couldn't.
Yeah. But like in that sense of where you were saying all the soldiers that wanted to be back with their family. You know, so in that sense, he made you think of
You almost
something
made
that
me
would
tear
make
up when
that
you said
kind of
that.
connection.
I'm not gonna lie, and that's why I said it too. Like White Christmas is by far my favorite Christmas movie ever, and and they come together to help their sergeant. So
Yeah.
like, as most people would definitely cry. It was actually pretty funny. They're having the Simpson marathon right now.
Oh, yeah, they
and
are.
they made a reference to It's a Wonderful Life because they're like, Bart's in the back and he's like, I heard they're running out of money in there. And like the guy comes out and he's like, oh, it's in Bill's closet and George's closet. And like the guy's like, Bill, you son of a... They just start fighting. But the fact that they made that point, I didn't realize how many... total side tangent, but I didn't realize how many stuff they pulled from like other TV shows.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was-
yeah.
Oh, all the
Simpsons
time.
did
I
it.
didn't know.
Simpsons
I didn't know, dude. I was too young to know.
Well, they did a whole episode of South Park where it's like Simpsons loses his mind. And it turns
Yeah.
out they're like, well, they did everything off everybody else.
Yeah.
So going back to the shadow people, I wanted to pull up this this little line here for our listener or caller. Something that they said on the angelsghost.com that I liked. It says, shadow is an indication of spiritual condition. It is the absence of light. Light in spirituality denotes truth. And then darkness would indicate a lack of knowing or fear. So in other words, the shadow people are disembodied humans who are lost, having not gone forward in life's journey by refusing to go towards the light that will carry them fully onto the next realm. Missing this transition, ghosts remain here with those of us on Earth as temporary states of limbo, so to speak. And then something else I said right here, what I like in the psychological kind of point of view, what they would say that you're seeing is a reflection of your own like inner condition, state of the soul.
Real quick, Aaron, can you make sure that's not asleep?
Yeah. Good.
Okay, just making sure. Sorry about that. I forgot to tell you that.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
No, okay, so yeah, pretty much it would be a psychological factor of like you're seeing a representation of your own inner like psyche. So in that way, you're like it's your inner condition or the state of your soul. So if you're seeing this, maybe it's that part of you that's trying to get you to
Well, yeah.
to
Well,
pay
Aaron
attention.
was
Yeah.
also saying too that there's the possibility that like the reason that it's coming to you is it's actually trying to warn you, and if there is such thing as multi dimensions, that it's the other you trying to get you.
warn you.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
talked
Sort
about
of
that on the
evil
last
you.
one. That was good.
Well, it's kind of like the whole it's the like it reminds me of the whole like if you hold the mirror and like
Oh, the fourth plane?
Yeah,
That's what led us to that. We discussed that on the last episode where we started talking about the mirrors and kind of had just like a moment like, what if, in any idea of the multiverse, there's a version of you that's trying to be the best version of you.
Then
And-
what's the worst version?
Yeah,
Yep.
and if there's a billion different versions of you and you've done everything in every universe, then there's another side of you that's equally trying to be the demonic or the devil. you
Yeah,
know?
unlike
Or like-
unless you're Deadpool.
yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
No.
You're just crazy in general.
So in that sense, anytime you see these shadow people or inner demons, it's really you trying to count yourself out in the psychological sense or the spiritual aspect of it.
No, it makes sense though. It really does.
And then there was a time where I seen.
I wouldn't want to
another
attack
shadow.
me. I would try to attack other people.
That's the thing.
I
There's
know
not
is
really
weaker.
cases of people being attacked.
No.
It's more psychological damage or
Yes.
fear.
Okay, so with that being said, what do we give the best advice to our listeners?
Depending on
Well-
your
We did discuss this a lot on the last episode. I would definitely suggest her listening to that episode. We talked about, it really does depend on what you believe in. I would even go as far as to say, if you have an action figure of a character you looked up to as a kid, that meant all that protection. Like, when I was a kid, I used to sleep with one around my pillow.
Yeah.
And that protected me.
Yeah.
And even at that sense, you're setting up a psychological part of yourself that can protect you.
yeah.
Actually, that's why I wear this rosary, this specific rosary. It's blessed, and there's been times where like I was actually having it was attacking me mentally, and I was having these dreams of like I tried to do the whole like get out of here, you don't belong here, and it just like lifted and started throwing up stuff, and it was in my house every time. So
Were you 100% like, this is my house,
Yeah.
get out, or were you afraid?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
it was this is my house. Like
the fuck
you're
out.
not welcomed here. And it just and actually like grabbed something and threw it at me.
oh shit.
But did it stick around after that?
Yeah.
It's like, no!
But that was the thing, is that what I ended up doing was, instead of wearing my rosary, I put it around my fist.
There you go.
And in my dream, I like wrapped it
the
like
Jesus
hard.
brass knuckle.
Yeah.
So that's what actually helped me get rid of it. Like I knew I had to stand up to it.
Oh, yeah.
And there was no way like I couldn't, so I did what I had to do. And these were like Jose was mentioning previously, these were reoccurring dreams, but they were one of those. They're one of those dreams where it wasn't like, everything felt like tilted to the left. It was my house.
Yeah.
That was so I didn't know if like I astral projected myself out, which I mean I've had several cases of that happening.
Yeah.
And we could talk about that.
Oh, we actually did talk about it on the last episode.
But on the aspect for our caller / listener, you can go that route and tell it, get the hell out.
I would, honestly,
well, that's the thing, is a shadow person. I think she's just seeing them around. So
that's what I'm saying.
It didn't sound like she was afraid at all. She just wanted to know, hey, is this really happening?
Well,
is
if she is,
it's really happening.
Yeah.
If she is, then she has pretty much tell it, get the hell out. Have something to anything
that backs you up, that you feel would back you up. If you love a certain flower or a certain smell that makes you feel good, then put it everywhere, and that's to you like my spiritual sword, or anything really,
or
she
spirit
can animal.
If your Christian believes, honestly, just put it. Well, that's if you're trying to get rid of them.
Well,
I don't know.
It's not really get rid of them or protect yourself from it. That's the thing.
Yeah, so that's why with protection, like you said, like something that carries out. But
I love to use something called dragon's blood. It's a resin from a tree in Asia. It's pretty much has a lot of spiritual aspects of protection, but there's plenty of things like that.
Sage?
Yeah, sage being one of them. But like with anything like that, like with sage, they try to say like narrow it down, because every time you're using sage, you're just connecting with that part of your mind that's activating that protection that you have the ability to project out.
Well, with sage, there's two differences.
Yeah.
There's for blessings and then for protection.
I do it more in the sense for
so the one
clearing,
I gave you is for protection.
Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's get. We're running short on time.
Oh yeah. Okay, dear woman.
Let's go ahead. Let's go. For the dear hands, why have you forsaken me?
All right, so
Can we get in trouble for that at all, or no?
No, we didn't play the S one.
Sorry.
Support system of a down.
I actually, where's my? All right, so on the lyrics, when the party.
Do you want me to bring up Dear?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're moving on to the dear.
Can I read it really whitewashed? Because I think that'd be hilarious.
Yes. Well, you're the boss.
As I'm ruining their podcast, okay, let me go ahead. Okay, so I have Deer Dance. So let's go ahead. Let's get into this real quick. So this is by System of a Down, and it says round and round. Circumvents. So hard to say. Circumvents circuits. Laminating in process. To visible police. Presence. Supported. Presence. Not present, but presence. Supported, sponsored fear. Battalions of riot police with rubber bullet kisses. Man, baton. Wow, curiosity. Wow, this is dark.
Yeah, it is.
Service.
Look at the history.
But service with a smile. Oh God.
Yeah.
Beyond the Staples Center, you could see America in its tired port, avenging disgrace. Peaceful, loving youth against the brutality of a plastic existence, pushing little children with their fully automatics. They like to push the weak around. Pushing little children with their fully automatics. They like to push the weak around. A rush of words pleading in despise upon your naked walls alive. A political call, the fall guy occurred, and we cannot afford the neutral on the moving train. Beyond the Staples Center, you could see America. Obviously, repeat that. And then it goes, a deer dance, invitation for peace, war staring in your face, dressed in black with a helmet fierce, trained on appropriate for the malcontents, for the disproportioned malcontents. The little boy smiled, it'll be well. And the little boy smiled, it'll be well. Pushing little children with their fully automatics.
Yeah.
They like to push. They like to push to leave the world.
All right, so the song kind of does tie in how the deer woman is in the Native American aspect. The Iroquois, the Cherokee, pretty much the major.
The deer dance is them like trying to summon the deer lady for protection.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Fertility.
So she represents fertility, pretty much, depending on what nation.
Fertility?
Yeah.
Like pregnancy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually considered one of the a benign spirit, but it also has different, like just like the shadow people. Some of them are good, but then some of them are pissed off.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of them.
So they both like to push the weak around. No, I'm joking.
Well, it depends on what nation, but every nation or tribe for most people, they share the same story. Like the major nations on the East Coast, like I mentioned, the Iroquois, Cherokee. I forgot the few other ones. So pretty much how the song is, like pretty much how America is. She is the deer woman. So. But for the natives, especially like the elder women, will teach men to be careful of pretty much the deer woman. No, not adultery, really. For promiscuous women. So, and this is what she does. And when the part was talking about dancing in the circle, she will come in and doesn't mean to be her like pretty much the ritual dance ritual for the deer woman for the fertility. Just any dance, any celebration, she'll come in and start dancing, and then and she'll just disappear. So, but the thing is that she'll lure men out, and then
Kind of like the idea of Satan.
Like the weak ones, basically.
She tempts those out, but it's
wait, who?
Well, just like Satan in a sense, that like it's the tempter. You know, it brings out a position to these men.
Yeah.
To like, oh, you got a choice, you know. But then if they do, they end up dying. And then really, is that up to like, is that her fault or theirs?
So pretty much, in a sense, the spirit of the deer woman is like pretty much a succubus.
Okay.
So she's really a succubus but on the native side, there's only like two ways.
She's like the mermaid of the land.
Yeah, she's like sirens and whatnot.
Okay.
That's what she is. And the way to get rid of, like, pretty much to counteract her or get rid of her, you got a couple nations believe that
don't get a boner for her. That's what it sounds like.
Pretty much, either do like a drum and dance ceremony. What's the other? Do like an enchanting spell type of deal, or make her look at her hoof feet. Because she doesn't think she's really a deer. She thinks she's just a woman.
So you have to be like, oh my god, bear trap! And she's like, what?
Oh! My fucking feet. I knew I should wear flats today.
And if you've been watching the American Horror Story Season 6, they had Lady Gaga's character with antlers on her head, and she pretty much tempted the husband into cheating on the wife, and led to his death, essentially, sooner or later. So, like, I don't know. I feel they had so much more they could have done with the show, especially with that kind of mythology that they kind of just brought in. Because they did incorporate, like, a ritual.
They just put the idea, like, here's another mythical creature, and that was it. They, like, kind of onced over it rather than getting into the meat and the potatoes. Yeah. That sucks. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't watch American Horror
No,
Story
it's cool.
also.
But it's just the thing I liked about it is the fact that, okay, they brought something from out of Native American culture.
Yeah, something that's probably overlooked because I've never heard of this prior.
Yeah.
But see, that's what also upsets me. You know, that's the whole thing about the deer woman. Like, it was all their culture, but was there any Indians in the actual story? No, not at all.
Not even a real Native American played the deer.
Yeah, but that was all about like the new settlements and stuff, and they totally skipped that. They even brought in the Japanese ghost and named him like an Islamic, or was it? I don't want to say that. Where they called the Asian Saduka or a jinn.
Oh yeah. I thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
No, I think that was
You're stupid. But anyways, so do we have like any like history or any like actual sightings of this at all that we've
from what I was looking up? No.
Okay.
It's mainly like a folklore story.
Yeah, but this is something where like I couldn't even find it upon the internet.
Yeah.
In fact,
no, it is hard.
Finding images when I did promote this via Instagram, dude, it was even hard to find those pictures because those were the only pictures that I found in general.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if you guys want to see, there's actually an awesome video that I actually posted on our
the
page.
Facebook. So make sure to follow Hunt for the Paranormal Podcast.
Yeah.
You can find that on Facebook. Or you could also follow us on the Ratt Haus Instagram.
So, which I need to make one for the Hunt for the Paranormal.
No, don't. It'll just be too much.
All right, good.
Besides, feeding it through the Ratt Haus Instagram really helps me out because then it gets more people to follow us.
For sure.
Yeah, so with that being said, I wasn't able to watch the video, but I definitely tried to do my own research. And you guys actually helped me out a lot more figuring out what she's all about rather than everybody else. In fact, from the pictures that I could tell, it felt like this was more of just like some weird fairy tale thing. Because at one point, one of the pictures is her walking through the forest topless, breasts exposed, and like her like touching like a fairy. So I was like, oh, maybe this is like fairy tale creature stuff. But apparently this is not.
No, this is actually straight up
religion.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Well, it would be considered in a form or like a part of the religious
form
belief.
of religion beliefs for like, but people not within that.
So she's like the Native American La Llorona almost, kind of.
Well, see, that's where it kind of differs because there's actually some Native American stories where she's a part of the creation story.
Yeah.
Like our man's first mom and dad were deer. And they gave birth to humans and sacrificed themselves to feed us.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like, I think if I have the book, I'll lend it to you when you get a chance. But it's a book full of Native American folklore. And it's like from every major tribe. And it'll nice. So they break down, oh, this is the creation of Earth and everything. It's like so freaking awesome. So yeah.
It's actually pretty funny. I'm already getting creeped out because I could see in Aaron's glasses. And the reflection of myself is actually canceling out a blackness behind me. So there's the light, and then it looks like a figure that's like standing there, but there isn't. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Whoa, that is pretty weird.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Look up a little bit. Now twist a little bit more.
Oh, it's the mic.
Debunked.
Oh, man.
Right. On that.
Well, it was even more scary because when I put up my arms, it didn't move. So I was like, no. But yeah, it's
that's because the mic.
Go get the shades. Go get the sage.
Aaron is not allowed to wear his glasses anymore during the podcast. But yeah, do you guys already have a theme for the next? So I thought you guys were gonna stick to like one monthly thing, but how is it going to be for the rest of the podcast?
So for the next episode, we're gonna jump into something in the cryptozoology phase.
That's basically this month is nothing but cryptozoology stuff.
Well, we're gonna jump next.
Because Dear Woman would be considered one of those.
That's why I felt like that.
So pretty much.
So when are you guys gonna conquer the stuff from Fantastic Beasts and where to find them? Yeah.
I'll look into it. I'll see what monsters they have and see if there's actually any real connections to mythology.
Yeah, actually, legit. Since that
came out not too long
ago.
If you listeners want, just like we started half of this podcast on a caller's, call, feel free to send us your stories. We'll give you our intake on it.
Yeah, or if you guys actually want some sort of theme or something,
Exactly.
And once again, if you guys have any comments, questions, if you're having a haunting, if you'd like us to do an investigation, we'd be more than glad to.
Matt will not be there.
I will not
I
be
will
there.
be there.
Yeah. And then I am intuitive, so I use the cards into the practice, and we can give some more information on what's going on.
On top of it, if I am to participate, the only one I am going to participate in is if you guys do an investigation on the La Habra, I believe either the Habra Children's Museum or the La Habra theater that they have.
I'll do the children's.
We'll do that. Oh
creepy.
no, and you're also going to come back to our revisiting of
Carbon Canyon?
Yep.
I don't know if I want to be a part of that one.
And we'll be bringing this camera on, so we'll be able to see everything.
Because I was already there. Yeah, so the reason I will be a part of the Children's Museum or whatever it is, if it does happen, is because I'm going to sit in the security room and have walkie-talkies. I think your mic died, dude.
Damn it.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yay! So pretty much, like again, call in, message us, anything anything.
Anything. I could always use a card. Like we just had a situation where he was saying, he thinks that this area is a portal. I used the tarot cards to bring out, and we got the world card. I'll post it up so you guys can see it. And that pretty much told us that these things, it pretty much had a lack of understanding, repeating cycles. So that told us that they don't know that they're ghosts and they're just roaming around.
Yeah.
So that let us know that, one, there's nothing to worry about, really.
Yeah.
And two, that you don't have to be afraid as much as
we kind of came up with
are.
the idea that, like, since I live down the street from the cemetery, and since my mom and I are like hypersensitive, maybe we're like a beacon of light.
Yeah.
And they keep coming and they're like, "What's going on over there?" And it's like, "No, dick, like, we don't want you here."
We brought chips and dip.
Yeah,
bro.
right. We brought things with us. We're supposed
They
to.
just
right?
want to
It's
party,
like,
and you're the only one who notices them around. So, like,
Look,
hey, let's hang out with that guy.
Like Michael Jackson said, "I got a feeling somebody's watching me." Okay.
And on that note,
okay, we got some music going.
All right, take it easy.
So make sure go ahead. Go ahead and play it. It's fine.
I did.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool. Perfect. So, you could also email us. Turn it up a little more. You can email us at contact. Oh, okay. Contact at rathouse.net. That is the email, contact at rathouse.net. As well as follow us on Twitter and Instagram at rathouse. Or, of course, go to our home, rathouse.net.
yeah. Also,
On top of it, this will be obviously posted on YouTube. So you'll be able to watch this via YouTube if you go to Rat House. That's RATT space HAUS. A lot of people think because I say RATTHAUS like it's one word.
Yeah.
It's not, you guys. It's 2 words. So yeah, Rat House Productions. And of course, if you want to be a special guest, anything like that, go ahead and
Hit us up.
Later.
Late.